Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Excellent, well done. I'll tell you what won't be good luck. If you get wet here, the trains discharge their toilets over the river, guys. Please don't panic. Well, no, don't wave it on this bridge. 5 years bad luck. This one. Now then, folks, you are on a sightseeing cruise to the Tower of London. Now, the company don't employ tour guides. What they provide you with for your ticket is an audio guide, which you can download to your phones. It's done in 14 different languages. But one thing we're happy to do on this boat, if you'd like, is I can stay on the microphone, stand here and do a live commentary with you. So point some sites out and pass on a bit of local knowledge. I can see you downstairs as well, I've got cameras everywhere. Would people like a bit of a live commentary this evening? Right, that's positive. Right, we'll give that a go. We're not tour guides or anything. Me and the captain here, we're your crew. So if I get anything wrong, keep it to yourself. That's really embarrassing for me, but we'll give it a go. This is Waterloo Bridge, and it's named after the Battle of Waterloo. On the river, though, we affectionately call this bridge the Ladies' Bridge because it was reconstructed by an almost entirely female workforce during the Second World War. About 90% of the workforce of this bridge were female. And a good fact for you is, it remains the only bridge in London to have been built on time and under budget as well. So well done the Ladies Bridge, Waterloo. It's also central London's longest bridge, so it actually goes all the way up to Strand on your left-hand side, a very famous road on your left. So a quarter of a mile it stretches across the river. Now, your right-hand side, you've got a grey building over there with the electronic advertisement board. That's our National Theatre. It will not surprise you to hear it does get voted the ugliest building on the river, because it looks more like a car park really, doesn't it? But don't judge a book by its cover. There are 3 theatres inside, one of which is the Olivier Theatre. It's named after Laurence Olivier, and it hosts some of the best shows in London. So that's our National Theatre on the South Bank. The South Bank to your right there, a bit of an arts and cultural hub for the city. A little bit about the river for you. The total length of the Thames is 215 miles, second longest river in the United Kingdom. 90 miles of this river is tidal, and where you are in central London is part of that tidal section. Very large tide range here between high and low water. We can see a rise and fall in the water level of about 7.5 metres. It's a huge tide range. At the moment, the water level is rising. We're on a flood tide, so the tide's coming in from the North Sea. So even though we're going down river, we are pushing against the tide at the moment. The tide actually extends all the way to a town to the west of London called Teddington, which means ending town, Teddington. Just on your left, we've got the HQS Wellington, little archway, the wall there to your left. It's called Temple Arch, and it's a boundary marker. This is the boundary between the city of Westminster that we've just left and the city of London we're now in. Not a lot of people are aware of this. The city of London, 1 square mile in size, stretching from here to Tower Bridge. Population 10,000. It is one of the UK's smallest cities and one of the smallest capitals. We always navigate on the starboard side of a channel. That's the right-hand side. So you can see the captain's just lined the boat up on the right-hand side. This is the one we are supposed to go under. However, this is the lowest bridge that we navigate under in central London, and at high water we do not fit under this archway. You can imagine the water level's rising at the minute. Don't worry, you've got loads of room at the moment, but you can actually fit under this archway with that at the tide. And actually, the bridge archway is actually reduced at the minute. You'll see a load of scaffolding on the archway. They're going to be painting it in the next couple of weeks. So that's reduced the height of the arch even more. And there's a very old tradition that they've done to this day, that if they're working on a bridge, they hang a hay bale off the archway. And if you look bang in the middle of the arch, so we're about to go underneath it, you'll see a hay bale. So they carry on the tradition to this very day. Look at the pillars on these pillars were designed to look like church pulpits. And that's because there used to be a monastery on the north bank, the 13th century Dominican monastery. Between the two bridges, you'll see some red pillars. These are the foundations for the original railway bridge, designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel. This railway bridge, though, that we're about to go under. It's actually a railway station. So on this bridge, Blackfriars train station. Now, the station above you was designed and constructed to accommodate more people coming to London for the Olympics back in 2012. The only problem is they completed construction in 2013. So today it's the Tate Modern Museum of Modern Art. If you look on the side of the building, it says it's free to enter. And if you've ever seen modern art, you'd know why. I'm only joking. Most of London's museums are free, and London has over 300 museums. Have a look to your left and we can see the dome to St Paul's Cathedral in the city. The city today actually opened to the public in 1711. It was after the Great Fire of London, which was in 1666. You get a really nice view of the cathedral. When we go under the Millennium Footbridge, look to your left. They built this bridge perfectly in line with the cathedral. So if you ever walk across the footbridge into the city, you get a great view of St Paul's. We see it here as we make our way under. Any Harry Potter fans on board? You've recognised this bridge? Yeah, using the Harry Potter movie. Apparently it was the most expensive scene in the whole franchise when they used this bridge. Changing it from Harry Potter though to Shakespeare, a little bit different. On your right, we've got William Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, the white building, thatched roof. It is a replica. The original theatre burnt down in 1613. If you're looking for a show whilst you're in London, see if they've got anything on at the Globe Theatre. They quite often sell tickets there for as little as £5. I think to see a live performance in London, that is unbelievably good. So it is worth checking out, the Globe Theatre. And to your right, this is the London Borough of Southwark. We're about to go under Southwark Bridge, which connects it to the city. And this is actually the least used bridge in London. It's the quietest bridge in the city. Very hard to find. Lots of one-way streets lead to it. It's a bit confusing trying to find this. If you see anybody walking across this one, give them a wave, because they're probably lost. I can't even see anyone. Oh, he was there yesterday, that bloke. No idea where he is. The original bridge here, there he goes, he now knows where he is, well done. The original bridge here, 1813, it was built to alleviate congestion on London Bridge. I'll tell you about London Bridge in a minute. Now, if anyone's looking for a nice pub by the river this evening, I've got a good one for you. On the right-hand side, the Anchor, it's got the lights outside. One of the oldest pubs on the river. It's been there for over 400 years, that pub. It's believed Shakespeare's been in there, and it's actually where Samuel famously chronicled the Great Fire of London from. It is also, quite famously, where you'll find me and the captain this evening, in about an hour's time. That is entirely for research purposes, all right, for these commentaries. We have to do our research. We'll see you there. This is Cannon Street Railway, one of the oldest railway bridges in London, and London, for over 300 years, was the busiest port in the world. The River Thames was the centre of global shipping. At the height of trade on the river, warehouses lined the banks for about 10 miles. And some nice examples are on your right here. You've got Winchester Wharves, Pickford's, and if you look next to Pickford's Wharf, on the right, there's a dry dock with a ship in it, on your right side. Has anyone seen Pirates of the Caribbean? Yeah? That's got absolutely nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. That is Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind, one of two replicas. Sir Francis Drake was the first Englishman to circumnavigate the world, did so in the Golden Hind. Now, this is a really famous bridge. This is the bridge that keeps falling down. London Bridge, folks, this is London Bridge. Now, there's a lot of history here.
ਅੱਗੇ ਆ
The first bridge was built here in 43 AD by the Romans. So nearly 2,000 years a bridge has spanned the river here. Nearly 2,000 years. The legend is Roman was torn down during a Viking raid in the city, and that's where we believe to get the nursery rhyme from. The most famous London bridge, the medieval bridge, was built in the 12th century and it spanned the river here for a little over 600 years and was considered a wonder of the world at the time. If you're interested, as we come through, on your left, there's two buildings to you here with a gap between them. That gap is where the medieval bridge actually crossed the river. In the gap, there's a little church in there. It's called St Magnus the Martyr. If you go into that church, they have a scale replica model of the old London Bridge and some of the wooden foundations of the Roman bridge as well. It's worth going in. The tall building above us on the right-hand side is the Shard. It is the UK's tallest skyscraper. Now, the architect for an Italian called Renzo Piano. When he finished the project, the owners were delighted with his work. They offered him £1 million as a bonus. He turned it down. He took the penthouse instead, which he later sold for £38 million. That was a good decision. Very close to Shard is Borough Market. And you can see Tower Bridge is starting to come into view. Don't worry, we're going to get a lot closer to Tower Bridge before we turn the... Okay, so you're going to get some great views of Tower Bridge. Before we get there, on the right side, you're going to have to look very hard to see it because it's camouflaged. But if you look hard enough, there's a warship on your right side. Can everyone see this? HMS Belfast, built in the same shipyard as the Titanic. They're actually building a new HMS Belfast, but that one's built on the River Clyde in Scotland. This battleship, you're right, in the Second World War. She actually fired some of the very first shots of the D-Day landing in Normandy. She's an absolutely brilliant museum today. If you're into your naval history, I highly recommend it. Our stop's on your Tower Millennium Pier, but as I said, we'll get closer to Tower Bridge for you, so don't panic, we'll get you right up to the bridge. Whilst you're looking on the left-hand side, you can see my favourite landmark on the River Thames. I love my history, and the Tower of London on your left-hand side has nearly 1,000 years of history. So the oldest part of the Tower of London is the centre with the 4 turrets, the tallest. That was built in the 1070s. It was by William the Conqueror, just after his Norman invasion of England. Now, the Tower of London has had a lot of functions in its lifetime. It's been a fortress, a royal palace, a mint, an observatory, home to the crown jewels. It's even been a zoo. But most famously, the Tower of London's been a place of imprisonment, torture, and execution. Some very famous people have been imprisoned in the Tower of London. Guy Fawkes, Walter Raleigh, Elizabeth I, Anne Boleyn, and of course, Mel Gibson. Sorry, William Wallace. Always get that wrong. Bridge. We're going to turn the boat in a minute, guys, and when we turn the boat, we're very likely to rock about. So those of you standing up, please be very careful. All right. Now, the bridge in front of you is unique. It is a twin steel suspension and bascule bridge. Bascule is a French word. It means counterbalance. It is the centre part to this bridge. It rises in the middle, allowing taller ships into the city. We've had quite a few bridge lifts today actually. The only day of the year the bridge definitely will not open, the day of the London Marathon. Now this year we had 60,000 people run across this bridge, and that was a world record apparently. I think they should leave a gap actually. A little bit of a long jump for the runners, that made things interesting, wouldn't it? Little story for you. Heading south across this bridge, that's left to right, medal for his bravery, and a £10 bonus.